Spaceship! Hello! How are we? Yeah, I know this sort of, well, this afternoon's one was a bit short. I was just feeling tired. I actually did have a kip. But this is the next car that we're building. The AMC Rebel. Twin turbo. This is going to be a beast because it's rear wheel drive and we're not allowed to change the drivetrain. Puts much weight, sort of. Do you know what? I like the standard bonnet, you know. I really do. Do I want vintage race tyres or the Horizon race tyre? I think vintage, but I may change. Depends on how much power we're going to have going through the back wheels. As to whether I, you know, change tyre compound. It is a road circuit, so I can sort of lower it. Will I get into S1 just by doing that? I don't know. Probably. By the looks of it, I will. But we'll see once we've got all this on. Well, yeah. I'll put the race tyres on. Fair bait. Yeah, basket, put that all on. 600, nearly 700 horsepower running through the back wheels. That's going to be interesting. But next is to find a livery. And then on to the race, which is an endurance one actually. It's 8 laps. Sort of like 30-minute endurance. It'll be more than half an hour. for me. But what I will do is I'll put stream mode now on before I go racing. And then this will go on sale. On the auction house after the race. I just want a nice sort of livery. But it's just sort of trying to find one that's, you know, suits. Hmm. I don't know whether there is a sort of nice looking one that's I like. You know? I don't know. So there's some that are nice that are just sort of like, you know, a plain sort of thing like that. That's quite nice, you know. Like that one, simple and clean. That's quite nice, actually. But I'll probably go with that. Just to, you know, because it's American and, you know, got to be Americanized. Even more Americanized. As it were. But now, it's the moment of truth. The race. But it's by Random 2 Racer. It's called the Edinburgh Leviathan. It starts at the Hollywood Park circuit. It's 30-minute endurance, 8 laps. Weather is summer, afternoon, dry and fixed. There are no restrictions. S1 grip build. The track is being used mainly for a German British Cars event. This was back in July last year, so, you know, probably not anymore. World record for the track is 340.312 in a Forza Edition TVR Sojaris, but, you know, that's not what it is. The track uses many parts from his different circuits in the Edinburgh series is also the longest one from all of his street circuits at the moment. But obviously, you know, that's up until July 2020, so it's obviously not going to be that now, possibly. I don't know, because obviously we're just going down through them in order. But if I don't talk much for this one, it's because I am actually having to concentrate. So, and I forgot to turn stream mode on because I'm an idiot. Oh well. I'll do it in a minute. I am next to useless in a way, aren't I? With that. But it is what it is. Just bear with me for a second. Having to sort of put out something. Right, I'll be there in a minute. Right, let's go. I don't know how quick this car's going to be around this track, actually. Just rear-wheel drive. Nearly what, 700 horsepower? In a lowered American reveal. It's going to be interesting. So, hopefully we'll do well. If not, it doesn't matter. Nudge that wall. Ooh. Break. Oh. Come on. It would never catch that Audi. That Audi has all-wheel drive. This obviously being rear-wheel drive is going to struggle. And it is nearly, what, 700 brake horsepower coming from race parts. So it's going to be, you know, yeah, they're best parts, but they're still kind of old because it's the original engine in that sort of regard. Yeah, I know, old, but it's Forza. Yeah, you've got to think of it. If it's real life, it's going to be older parts. It's not going to be a whole new engine rebuild. Well, I suppose it would be a rebuilt engine with new parts like that, but it's still sort of like the original block in a way. We'll see what sort of time we can get. I won't do all 8 laps, I don't care how long it takes me. I just, you know, sort of maybe want someone to chat to. If a car doesn't sell, I'll probably maybe put it back up in the auction house. But I kind of don't want it, purely in the fact that it's taking up room for a slot. Because it's a duplicate car, essentially, that I'm using on these custom build routes. So they're sort of all cars I don't need 2 of, because I only really want 1 of each car, realistically. Really? I bet you if someone else took that line, it would say yes. Like it would, you know, accept it. That's a horrible checkpoint place. Bit of a horrible checkpoint placement, because it makes you think you're going up. Not like, you know, almost straight across, not round that bend like that. I'm kind of glad I chose the race tyres, actually, rather than the vintage ones. It just feels, you know, a little bit nicer, in a way. Oh, that was fun, getting that out of shape like that. Oh, running wide, run a bit wide, and quite wide. We're back on the road though. I mean, this thing handles alright. I mean, it's got enough grip to make me happy. But I'm actually quite comfortable with this car. I just happen to throw it a little bit about. The brakes are interesting, and we're going to go for a little spin, are we? Okay, there we go. I do have to brake probably a bit earlier than what I need or think, purely because the brakes aren't 100% great. Like, they're good, but I can't sort of brake on it on the point of sort of like the driving line. It's sort of got to be a little bit beforehand. I've really knocked this lap up. I have a feeling I am going to get lapped though. I really do. But it is what it is. Power, double brake, off the foot for that. Back end sometimes just wants to step out and you touch the curb. You sort of throw it just a bit too much. Just beyond its sort of grip level and it will go. Then when most cars will do that anyway. But it just feels quite nice to drive. It's just a little bit boaty as well, like, you know, I mean, it is a big vehicle, a big American muscle, it's always going to be boaty. Driving a big old boat, the car. Oh, I misdodged that brake zone, that braking point. Dash that wall. This lap's going to be slower than the first. Just because of those mistakes. Come on. On. Oof. It's going alright until that turn, really. We've sort of got to be always braking on that turning, like before the turning. Well, obviously you've got to brake before the turning, but you know, like following that curve entirely round. You've got to be braking. yeah, it is what it is. So I'm just having to sort something out on my phone as well, so I'm sort of just driving as the pace. Like, slow down the pace. Wait until we get to a whoa! Straight. I'm happy to get lapped purely because speed than the fact that I'm having to try and sort something out. Foot down on that bit. I'm just going to let it crawl for the moment. Right. Now full power. Beans it. Ah. I will get a clean lap. That'll be sub 5 minutes, hopefully. It just won't be this lap. Unless I can somehow pull off a miracle lap. Where it's just gunning it and absolutely perfect from now on, but it won't be because it's me we're talking about here. This car doesn't really like the sharper turns. But we'll do it. We'll make do. Yeah, so from this sort of checkpoint, you've almost got to be braking the entire way. Come on. Sure. We'll see how many we do till sort of like 9:30ish. It's 7:45 now, so we've got another hour and 45. If I'm halfway through a race at 9:30, I'll just finish that race and then that'll be it. But if I've just finished a race when it's sort of 9:30, then that will be, obviously, that will have been the last one. And then, yeah. I'll just come off the power every little bit for those. I will try and put the details in the description, obviously, when this is on YouTube. So if you aren't watching this live, obviously, you are watching it as the YouTube upload. Hello, how are you? And whatnot, you know, I did say all that before, but yeah, if you are watching it on that, I will try and have the stuff in the description. But if not, you've hopefully been watching so you know what to sort of look out for. I'm never going to catch them up, but I wasn't intending to try and keep with them. My intention is to show off the route and see how well I can do it, not against, you know, unbeatable driving cars, because I just let them do their own thing. You know? It's a shame you can't run it sort of solo in, like, you know, Rivals sort of thing. You know, so it's just like, you could just, obviously, you sort of like one lap. Or whatever. But it is what it is. "5 minutes, that one." So I did colour some time back. Now I've got to try and aim for sub 5. That's the aim for sub 5 minute. If I can. Come on. I'm just trying to think what my next car is going to be. I genuinely don't know. But yeah, no, rather than sort of, you know, as I was on YouTube releasing a video a day, I figured I'll do it as streams, like the custom builder showcase, like this. Just because I can sort of, in a way, I guess it's easier for me, because it means I don't have to keep, you know, I could just plough through them one after the other, whereas obviously with recording, yes, it's that, but it sort of stops starting, whereas this is, you know, all in sort of one. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. Yeah, I hope it does. I have a feeling I'm going to be lapped towards the end of either this lap or the next lap. I really do think I'll be lapped. But at the end of the stream I'll put the cars up rather than at the end of either each race. Here we go. This is a nice... I feel like I'm having a better lap this lap than I have done. But I don't know. I don't know where I sort of stand. Oh, that was very wide. That was far too wide. Far too wide. Keep the power down. Damn it. I was on for a good lap as well. That's annoying. Well, it'll still hopefully be sub 5, but not as quick as it could have been. Well, I could do quicker than that. Right. I'll keep the foot down and keep my foot planted. I can do this. I've got this. I am going to be lapped though. There is no doubt about that. It's just how much can I sort of get before I do get lapped? How far can I go? Oh, that didn't help. Running wide there. Break. Keep pressure on myself to do well here. I'm running wide through some of these turns, and that doesn't help. I'm sort of just trying to maximise its grip through some of these turns, just extending almost. Like the track limits. If I can. Without sort of, you know, not outbreaking myself, but certainly without, you know, missing a checkpoint. At least. Come on. Can I go a whole race without being lapped? Oh, that was very wide. That was too wide again. It's because I got my foot down on that point. Makes it difficult. And I've lost audio because I pulled out my headphone cable, so I'll have to do that after the race. Put it back in. And it doesn't bother me so much. Because it's basically just, you know, engine sound. I don't need it. I thought it would be lap 6 I'd get lapped. It's not. It's going to be at least lap 7. So I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, lap 7 for me. Lap 8 for them. So yeah, I will be down a lap nearly. I'm just going to keep pushing. I can do this. That's not good. Oh, I'm losing it. I buckled. Buckled under pressure. There we go, I've been lapped now. There's nothing I can do. Except hope it resets me. Maybe just ahead, but it won't be. It'll be just behind them all. Oh, no, it was actually in the pack. Oof. There we go, I got lapped on lap 7. You knew it was going to happen. You knew it was inevitable. Just doesn't like that turn. It is what it is. That's under. They're struggling. Oh no, they've got more pace than me, but they've probably got better handling. There we go, they've got better. Yeah, but they are all-wheel drive. They're not rear-wheel drive like me. I wonder if it put all-wheel drives, like all-wheel drives in this race. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out at the end. We will anyway. I blitz them in the straights to a degree. It's just the corners I struggle a little bit, it seems. But then that's what American Muscle is. It's all straight line sort of stuff, racing between the lights and that. I am actually going to plug the cable back in purely because I want to be able to hear something now. I'm sort of not annoyed, but I'm just not impressed with no sounds. And yes, I know I won't turn off that, but that was just so I could actually hook the cable. Off the floor and you know, get it in, plug it back in. I can't full speed that because that's what happens. So I do have to brake for that turn. One more lap. One more lap. Oh, bit of a wiggle. Last lap. Last lap. Does have grip. It does surprisingly well. I mean, it's not the best by any means. It just does what it needs to when it needs to, and it's sort of happy being that. It's sort of happy being its own yeah, being its own car, rather than sort of like, you know, trying to keep up with the pack. It wants to almost be different. Doesn't want to be in with everyone else. It's not that it wants to be alone, it just wants to be its own car. It wants to be its own thing. If you get what I mean. I hope you do. hasn't been that bad. I've part of the lap so far. Oh. I wonder whether a supercharger would have been better over the turbo, but you know, it is what it is. It's done now, it's been built, it's been run. Also, with the stream, you sort of get, like, I guess, behind the scenes to a degree to see if. Because normally what I do is I check if the route still exists, and then I'll go and decide on the car and that. So you sort of get a little bit more of sort of, you know, what goes into it. I guess with the stream, but the stream is more, well, it's all raw footage anyway. None of it's edited, even on the videos. But it's just, you know. If I had the software to edit them, I would. But seeing as I don't, I can't. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't think this is going to be the quickest lap either. It's not that I haven't made mistakes, it's just that it hasn't felt as quick. But it has been sort of run wides at some point, so... stuff like that hasn't helped. For thought, okay, I wasn't too far off the pace, I guess. $7,000 credits. Next is a slow journalist route. Now, do I go Super GT version or the Anything Goes version? I think I want to go with... Well, it depends on what the first car is in that next run. If you know what I mean. got to update my list to do with the old the document for the card, 1970. I'm not going to bother putting, I think, the livery share code in that because it's... Well, I probably will. It might be in the description on YouTube. I think. But we'll... But what I'll do is I'll do it after each route, actually. But I want to... Actually, I need to change car first to either whatever the first duplicate I have, which is a Super GT, as it so happens. V12 Vantage S. That's handy, so we'll be doing the Super GT version route. By the looks of it. And then... So it's build, livery... So it's the 2013 Aston Martin V12 Vantage S, but I don't know what its PI is going to be. I'm guessing it'll be like S2. Can't drivetrain swap, but can put a supercharger on it. I'm not going to bother with the rear aero. Or do I? See, I don't know. That kind of, to me, ruins it, but it does actually improve the braking and that, so I will maybe just put it on even though I don't really like it. We are going to put race tyres on. I'm going to make them nice and wide. Race clutch. Race transmission. Race driveline. Race diff. Race springs. Race anti-rolls. I always put the chassis reinforcement in. I don't really need to, but I always do. And this is where it gets power. What PI does this get to? Goes into S2, doesn't it? Yeah. But how high into S2? S2 914. about extreme. So we are going to do the Super GT version of the route. It is a 5.5 mile route actually. It's set in winter and it's clear. It's Lake District Sprint start location. It's called Winter Shopping GT / anything goes. Recommendation: all-wheel drive and or winter tyres. Yeah, I don't have them. It's winter, you're faced with a dilemma. You've got to do this shopping at a high-class shop in Edinburgh. So what do you pick? It might be a tough road, but hopefully you'll be putting your foot down and hoping you won't spin out one more thing. You may have screwed up the final corner, so when you enter the straight along Edinburgh, just remember there's a left 90 coming up. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to change tyres now. It's set. Once I'm back in this sort of area menu, I can't change, so... Oof. I'm in the hope that this, you know, is fine. You know. I kind of want a nice... That's nice, but because you're obviously... as it's fitting for the sort of route, I guess. I feel. So... I'm hoping there's a decent one that's sort of like, you know, quite nice. To be honest, there's only really one that I've sort of seen that I kind of like so far. Oh, two now. I kind of want to put Nino on. I'm going to put Nino on. Because who doesn't like Nino? If you've seen that anime and you know who Nino is from that, you know, you've done well. Anyway, you're a person of culture. But it is now the test to see if the route exists. This is the big test. I'm kind of hoping it does. Creative Hub, Blueprint Events, share code 476 797 236. Right. Otherwise, if it doesn't exist, I'm going to have to go on to the next one with this car. Okay. It is less than... I'm hoping it comes up this way, or one of them. Okay, custom only. Right, so it's lost all of slow journalists. Okay. So I can't do that one. Which means I won't be able to do that one either. Because that's another slow journalist one. Grr. Right, yes. So some of his got purged. Which kind of means that they're going to be revisited if he recreates them. I'm hoping... Actually, I'll come back to it, but it'll be a different car. It won't be the Aston, basically. And then there's one after as well, which is his. I'm hoping... Actually, no, I will come back to it with that Aston. Because the next one I can hopefully do is going to be a retro supercar. I hope. I hope. Eight, 3, 5, 1, 6, 9. Right, that worked. That's alive. Right, so that exists. retro supercars. So I kind of got to keep the Aston. The first retro supercar is the 5-1. No, it's not. I'm just going to go across. So the one with the livery on is the one that I use. I'll probably get rid of one of those ATSs actually. Retro super car, wasn't it? Yeah. Modern supercar, Super GT, hypercar, Super GT, modern supercar, Super GT. Extreme track toy. Is the F355 Berlin? We might be saved, guys. Slow Journalist might be coming on to get his routes done. Like, you know, posted. So we've got... So we'll do Hitchens first anyway. Ferrari F355 Berlinetta. Right. Upgrades. It's a road route. He still has a blueprints. Oh, he still has them. That's good. So we are saved in that regard. Twin turbo. So we'll do the Ferrari one, this one, by Itchians, and then hopefully by the time I finish that, Slow Journalists ones will be done, and we can run them, and then that should hopefully be take us to about 9:30. Hopefully. Because this is 6 times 3.5 kilometres, this next race. So it's a bit of a longer, well, kind of long, but it is sort of a almost like a quick, like little track, so it's not too bad. And then it'll be after that one, it's 2,000 to present saloons or hatchbacks. So it'll be like whatever the first sort of modern saloon will be. So that'll be interesting to see what car comes up first. I reckon it'll be an Audi. It'll either be the Audi or I don't know. But as always, this car will be, well, you know, put on the auction house. The tune will be shared, so if you don't manage to buy the car, you know, it's still going to be around. Thank you for the follow as well, Moob. This thing is going to be tough to handle. I have a feeling it's going to be either tough to handle or a pig to drive. It's going to be one of those two. I can just tell. How are you then, Move? S1894. Next is to find a livery and then race. He's got one uploaded already, that's good. So I can take the Aston out at least after this race. Which I'm glad about, because it is a good... Yeah, no, I'm just having to sort of sort the document out that I've got that lists every car and that, everything, you know, what I've been running with all the routes and that. I've just had to put that on the document. So I don't know what sort of livery I want on this though, because this car's going to be sold at the end of the stream anyway. Kind of like that one, but I don't think it suits that car. I don't know. I don't know. There really isn't anything that's sort of jumping out at me. You know? Not in the way that, you know, I want it to. That's kind of nice. We'll go with that. Playing the game. Literally playing the game. Playing the game and opening wheel spins. I very rarely throw cars on the auction house, so it's not playing the auction house. Plus, I've also got all the cars, so it's sort of, you know, doesn't bother me because I've got like full garage slots, so I'm kind of stuck. With no room for cars, so yeah. There is that as well. This, the AMC, the Aston, and whatever the other car is going to be for the next route, the route after I've done the one with the Aston in. Whatever that one is as well, all four of them will be put in the auction house at the end in about an hour. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of lap times I can produce here. I have a feeling I'll get lapped again. I always normally do, no matter what race I do. It's a circuit, like custom routes circuit, just for fun people drive with RAI, is what I've set it to. Just that way I can sort of almost have some clean air to run the route, because they'll just blitz ahead. Oh, that's a sharp turn. Okay, this thing's a little bit of a pig to drive. A little bit. It's not too bad. Right. Oh, run wide. Missed the checkpoint. Grrr. Yeah, no, I can easily lose a day trying to do like, what, 5-6 week recording, whereas if I just stream I don't lose so much time. So, in a way, it's just a little bit quicker, plus it means that, you know, rather than sort of having a daily route uploaded, it's all, there's sort of like multiple ones in one hit, and then you can sort of, you know, in a way sort of come back to it later, because of it, obviously this will be, you know, going up as a recording anyway, as a past broadcast. No, I haven't yet. Because I've been streaming as they've announced. And that. So, yeah, no, I haven't yet. Load of must. Don't get me wrong, Mustangs are nice, but, you know, it's... This is a game set in Britain. Can I have more British cars, please? And that's not me just being British. You know. I'd rather have some more classics, you know? Don't get me wrong, these sort of era of muscle car and supercar and that, don't get me wrong, they're nice, but, you know, I kind of want more of, like, you know, the high-end everyday stuff. You know, like the, I want to say the Volkswagen Up GTI, but no. But, you know, the sort of everyday sort of ones like that. Like Mondeo. You know, the Ford... what else? Like, you know, they've got the Austin 7. Why not put one of the most... and they've got the Mogul Minor. Why not put one of the most sold cars in Britain? Yes, it also sold globally as well. Is like the Austin 1300 GT, the sport version, which is the, you know, the sport version of that range. You know, it's essentially, because the other thing is that the 1100 1300 range, if you look it up, AD016, that's what its designation is. It is the big sister to the Mini, like the original Mini, like the proper, the true Mini. It is big sister, because it was designed by Alec Issigonis as well. It's just a big Mini, that's all it is, really. You know, I want to see more variety of car, not sort of like the same sort of car. Oh yeah, you've got Mustang. Yeah, but you've got a load of Mustangs. Not load, but you know, there's enough Mustangs in there for me to keep me happy. But you know, you don't need more. Don't need more of the same. More different, please. Like, I want to see some more Maseratis, you know. Like the Merak. I wouldn't mind seeing the Merak in the game. Or the Maserati Spider. You know. Maybe some more of the obscure sort of Lamborghini and that. That's what I want though, because I get why they're putting them in, because obviously, you know, the younger people do prefer that sort of style, but they're sort of pandering to them almost. It's sort of like, well, you know, I prefer different stuff, because I do silly builds with cars that shouldn't be doing it. Like this, I think I've got a rally, like, you know, this 355. Yes, I built it for racing, but that's kind of what it was in a way built to do, as well as, you know, not touring, but, you know, going on those longer sort of stretch journeys. You know, it's designed for that. In a way, but it's sort of like, you know, you want... I do want to see more everyday stuff. It's an X-Trail. You know. Mitsubishi Shogun Warrior. Yeah, I know they're not everyday, but you know, they're different. But as I was sort of trying to say, I make, like, with this sort of thing, obviously it's designed to do that sort of long racing and that. That's what people have built a car around, for it to do that. Whereas me, I'll do something silly with something like this. I'll turn it into a rally car. Like, I will rally build this thing. But I've rally built a McLaren Senna, for Christ's sake. I've rally built, you know, hypercars on here. I've just done silly things just because, you know, everyone else has gone the other way. I thought, right, I'll go the other way, go the silly route. Because, you know, they're not, don't get me wrong, they're obviously trying to plan to, like, you know, appease the community, but there are still people in the community that want to see cars that are different, a more variety of car, not like the same car, but different variety of that same car. Like the Mustang, there's so many different model Mustangs. You know, if we are going to have more Ford, right, why not have some of the other ones? You know, like, why not add a Mondeo? You know, but no, there's more than what they've added there. You know, Kia. I want to see maybe more Kia cars in the game. But speaking of Kia, have you seen their new logo? If you haven't, look it up. I don't know what to make of it. I'm sort of, you know, not that I don't like it, but it just sort of looks like a K and an N that's been sort of put on backwards. Though, if you look at the new Kia logo, I don't know whether I like it or not. So, yeah. Right, to the Aston. The Aston has already been rebuilt, or built, ready. So I can sort of just hop straight into it. I've got to thank Slow Journalist for this, though. Slow Journalist Subaru for this, because I told him that he knew that his was white, and I said, well, I was about to do these as, you know, his roots and that. And he's like, okay, let me get on and do it. So thank you for this. It was an Aston Martin, and it was that one. But this might be the last race, actually. It depends on when he gets, if he gets the other one done, you know. If he gets that one uploaded and out for me, we'll do it. But if not, this will probably be the last route. I know I said, oh yeah, till 9:30, but do you know what? It just saves me having to jump up and down on the server that I'm pulling the routes from. In a way, so it'll be this Aston going on sale, that Ferrari, and AMC Rebel that I've got that I tuned will all be going in the auction house after this race. Unless Subaru gets back to me with saying the other one's done. Now if it gets back to me saying the other one's done, then we'll do that one as well. So, yeah, if you don't end up buying the car, the tunes for these cars are actually sort of shaved, have actually been, you know, saved, so they are available to, you know, download. And I've got race tyres on and it's snow. Yeah, not good. Not the best combo. And it's still rear-wheel drive, I think. So, yeah. This is fun. But what I don't know what I want to stream tomorrow. Because what I might do tomorrow is I might do some more of these. I'm not sure yet. I might do the stream of these in the afternoon, and then in the evening I might do that NHL or something. You know, just to mix it up and do it. Whether I do the Ultimate Team on NHL or franchise mode, I don't know yet, because I haven't started franchise mode and I need to. So I haven't decided that yet either. But we'll see. We shall see. Let me know if you wanna, you know, what you sort of want to see tomorrow's stream-wise in the evening, maybe. It'll only be like the Tuesday chill, so it's not exactly as if it's going to be, you know, something intense. In that regard. But I'll go to the auction house in a minute. Put these on. Put these 3 cars up. I've got to change car first though. We're just going to the castle. Sorry, I was just looking at the phone. I wasn't really looking where I was driving. Oh. This thing needs a bit of a pick to drive. I thought the Ferrari was going to be the pick. It's not. It's the Aston. So... we'll get in the Stelvio. Go to the auction house. We'll start 3 auctions. So the first one is the CMC. That goes up for 24 hours. And it was this Aston. Same length of time, 24 hours. And then the Ferrari. And then that will be it for today, I feel. So I'm going to have a look, see what the next car will be actually that I can sort of build. So you'll probably make it anything goes that other race. Maybe. But if not, it'll be... well, I'm just going to go off the old one that they've got for it. 2000 to present saloons and hatchbacks. I have a feeling it might be the RS7 Sportback that gets used, unless he makes it any... oh, delivery trip has just come in as well, so we will do that one. But if he's made it anything goes, it'll be the DB5. Is it anything goes, or... because if it's anything goes, it'll be the DB5. I think. Yes. We get to build an Aston DB5. Ah. Right, what we'll do is I'll quickly check what it's set to, and then we'll build this Aston. If I can build the Aston, it'll be that. So it's 1 3 8 8 3 6 7 0 8. It is anything goes, that's fine. He's saying 4-door, but because of the cars that I've got to go across, it's easier to just do the next one in the line, which is this DB5. So DB5 is getting tuned and then liveried and then raced. Custom upgrade. I can't drivetrain swap. I've set myself that I can't drivetrain swap and I can't engine swap. But I can put the like turbocharging and that on if I wanted to. Turbocharge, supercharge. They're the only restrictions I impose on myself. Actually, what I'm going to do is I might put... Do I put vintage race tyres on this? Yeah. It deserves it. Such an iconic car. But to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the DB5. Surprisingly. Because it sort of fits in with like that sort of Mustang era. It like the Mustang and that. It's just sort of so iconic that you sort of don't, you know, it's just sort of like one of everyone's sort of car. They say, oh yeah, I love it. But I'm just sort of like, I can see why, but at the same time, I'm just like, because everyone says they love it and like it, I'm just sort of like, I'm going off it just because of that. Like, you sort of have that impulse not to like something because everyone else likes it. You want to sort of be, it's not being different, it's just the fact that you don't really want to follow. Yes, don't get me wrong, it is a lovely car, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't do anything for me anymore. I used to look at it and be like, yeah, that's a cool car, but now I'm just like, it's still cool, but There's one I'll never get tired of looking at though, and that's the E-Type. The E-Type Jag will always be cool. Will always be such a nice looking car like that. You know. Got to save the setup first. I always date them as to whatever date I built the car, and because it was a whole stream, so it's Feb 8. I'm just looking at the playlist now for next series. 2020 Ford Mustang GT 500. It's not going to do anything for me, is it? Forza Edition stuff. The Shelby 1000. Maybe. Maybe, but I'd tell you a car that I wouldn't mind seeing in the game. You know, the sports car looking Celica. You know, not the... that. Also, the sort of more square Elan from Lotus. The Lotus Elite as well. Wouldn't mind seeing the Elite. As well. Damn it, I forgot to paint. There's a few cars I wouldn't kind of mind seeing that are in that sports car category as well. Do you know what I wouldn't also mind seeing from Toyota in here? I know it's technically already in the game because of it being the Vauxhall. Is the Toyota Avensis. You know. Oh, but you got the Insignia VXR. Yep, I know they're kind of the same car. But, you know. Which would you rather see as a brand in a game? You know, would you rather see someone driving around in a Vauxhall Insignia or a Toyota Avensis? Do you know what I mean? It's just the name, the Toyota name, it just gets a little bit more attention. But we'll find a livery, then we'll run the route, and then we'll put this up on the auction house and end the stream. So everyone's gone James Bond, which is just literally the grey anyway. To which it just doesn't. It's just they haven't tried. You know. You haven't tried. All you've done is just done it a different shade of silver. It does nothing. You've done nothing to the car. Really. You haven't, you know, tried to make it stand out. You know. Do you know what? I kind of like that United Kingdom one. I kind of like that, you know. We're going to go with it. And then we're going to run the route. And then call it a day. And then I'll be on possibly tomorrow doing probably either more route or NHL. I haven't decided yet. Why did I hit the map? Right, share code. I know I'm going against your ruling here for doing 4-door, but, you know, I'd rather get through the list on, like, go through the cars in order. Here, Subi, so it is going to be that. Then it's DBR1, if it's the next one there, but I don't know. Next one is a dirt one, which is going to be the first one to kick off the next stream of custom routes. It is modern sports. I think. I don't know. I'll have to ask him to sort that out, but I'm not going to bother, you know, chasing him up on it yet. So, you know, I don't want to put extra hassle on, give him a hassle. You know, everyone wants just an easy life. It just so happened that his ones were next. Like the next one would be, this is a great idea. Which would mean that if he reinstated that one, then and made it anything goes, then it would be the DBR1 that gets rally built. Or can you imagine that, a rally built DBR1? Damn. That would not be a fun thing to drive, I bet. But yeah, no, if he's watching this before I do the next run of custom route stream, you know, because at the moment I'm still pulling off the Forza Horizon 4 custom route Discord, or you've got my document as well, because I believe I've shared it with you in the past. If I haven't, then what I'll do is I'll put it in the link for it in the description. So yeah, it'll be something like that. Hopefully. See, I would push Vaporizer to re-release his, but I don't think he will. Just because he's annoyed at, you know, Playground and that for you know, when they implemented Super 7 that it wiped routes. But that's what he's annoyed at them for, and to be honest, I don't blame him, because they were shared and they had so many plays, and then to just lose them so you can't, nobody else can play them. Kind of annoying. Because I mean, I've got to do that with my dice routes, you know. I've got to redo them for that, but you know, I might save my dice routes until the very end, like the last set of routes. So that could be weeks, months, or probably months away at this rate. So yeah, it's been a long journey doing these custom routes, and obviously last month being the Super 7 challenges on my YouTube, that is. So this is where this will be uploaded. Obviously it will be released 24 hours after I finish, because of Twitch TOS. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan. Is to run more, just keep running these custom routes in the end. But I don't know, I'm not gonna do individual daily routes again. I've just sort of got, in a way, burnt out in a way from, you know, having to pre-record. It wasn't the pre-recording that was the issue, it was just the fact that it's quite time consuming to sort those out. Whereas the stream I can sort of just pick them up. So I'll probably keep them as a stream and then upload the stream, and then that'll last like a few days, depending on the amount of routes on the stream. So this one had 4, so this, and then I did one route in the afternoon today, so that'll be the same video anyway. So that'll last till sort of like Friday, realistically, because it's 5 routes. So it sort of, you know, works out that sort of way. But yeah, it's just trying to... The other issue as well is a lot of the time, again, when streaming as well, it's not what to fix, like, you know, trying to think of stuff to say as I'm sort of driving and that, and now I'm maybe terribly mess of that turn there. Whoa! Yeah, it's just one of those sort of things, really. I'd rather do the streams and upload the streams a day later and that. Just easier for me. Plus you can actually see like the share codes and that anyway. Yeah, you might not be able to buy the car, but you know, if you're watching the stream, you can obviously pick it up at the end of the stream. When I do putting the cars up. But, you know, if you're obviously watching it as a recording on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Because you know, you've still got the tune that you can download anyway. And the livery that you've sort of seen there, share codes and that I haven't put in yet on the document. I don't think I will, just because I think most people will be able to find these themselves. But yeah, we are near the very end of the route. Oh, come on. Really? There we go. What I now do, put the car up in the auction house. So I've got to change car. And then that will be it for today. We'll just go to the festival. It's the nearest place. And then we shall see about what happened tomorrow. But yeah, so if you are watching this slow at the, you know, if you do watch it, there are a few more that I kind of want to do that are your ones. But it doesn't matter if you don't get around to doing them. But until next time, everybody, it is a goodbye and cheerio.